Good morning, Hive fans. We're here in the room this morning. Stefanzo and Max Shark are playing against each other, and they've gotten started a little early. So I will try very hard to get caught up with you. So bear with me a second while I get everything going. They are moving right along. So give me a second while I get this set up. So it should be an exciting match this morning. This is Stefanzo versus Max Shark, and they are moving quite rapidly. So give me a second while I see if I can get caught up here in the replay room. Welcome everybody this morning. Max Shark is playing whites, opened with an inline queen. Stefanzo replied with a ladybug and mosquito. White ant 1 came in. Black pillbug was played. White mosquito was played. And Stefanzo brings in his queen in a buffered position. And a buffered J opening. And Max attacks early with his mosquito. That's interesting because this will allow Max, if he wants to warp either the queen or pillbug away, and he can qualify for the win early, although it's a very difficult scenario when you qualify for the win that way. Let's see if Max takes advantage of that. Now I'm going to take a minute here and get on my iPad, make sure that I am actually streaming. I should be. So bear with me 1 second here. And sure enough, just as I expected, Max used his mosquito to warp the pillbug away. Yep, I am live. Going to be an exciting day because we've got Max Shark and Stefanzo playing, and then we've got Frasco and A.E. Norman playing shortly. They'll be starting in about 30 minutes. They are playing very quickly here, and Max is in attack mode. He warped the pillbug away. Now he's attacking with a beetle. And I have this obnoxious cough. I hope that I will be able to mute quickly before I start coughing. Let's see what Stefanzo's idea is here. He's going to allow the beetle to get up. He's bringing in another ant. I am going to go over to the lobby and make a note. Just put a Randy is streaming in the lobby, so hopefully we'll get some of these people joining us here. Oh, that's interesting. Max warped the pillbug over. Max is definitely in attack mode this morning. Now is Stefanza going to take a moment here and begin some defense? We've got quite a group joining in as spectators, which is somewhat to be expected. This has been an exciting tournament season. The round robin just ended, and we've got the top 16 players playing in the knockout rounds of the 2024 Hive Online World Championship broadcast. Tournament. Okay, so just like that, Beetle came in, Beetle came in. So Max has already qualified for the win. Is surprising. Warped the pillbug away, and then warped the pillbug back into play. But he did get the pillbug covered. It's double covered in an Oreo stack with the two beetles, but Max is definitely in attack mode. Trying to keep an eye on my stream. We've got 3 people viewing so far. Welcome. I'm gonna, while I am watching here, they are moving very quickly. So we've got Max. Actually, I should probably change this so we know that. I'm going to change that so Max is first, since Max is playing white. Make sure there is a 3-minute delay in the broadcast today to minimize the possibility of the players actually watching the live stream and listening to my commentary and getting some ideas. Although I finished last in my group in the round robin phase, so I'm not at near the quality of play of these guys are. The perfect example of an ambiguous spider, the black spider comes in threatening to do a pin replacement or threatening to attack the spider as the white queen. So make sure you let me know where you're from when you're on the live stream. You can drop me a chat. Of course, the timing throughout this uh, round of 16 is 20 plus 20, meaning you have 20 minutes of thinking time for your game. Each turn, you get 20 seconds added. Now, the white spider comes in 1, 2, 3, threatening to attack. Black can always do an intercept by placing a bug in there, but then the white spider will have if for example, black placed the beetle there, the white spider would then have a true pin on whichever bug that is. So in some cases it's a good idea to do that intercept. In some cases it's not quite as good. So he's going to do the intercept with a grasshopper. Puts a good defensive bug in, because now black has two good defenders next to the queen. White still has an ant that hasn't come in. The spider goes ahead and does a true pin on the grasshopper, so that if white can fill this spot, the grasshopper is not free. I think if black spider is going to do something, it's going to probably do a pin replacement, get that black ant available for defense. A lot of people say that the spider is definitely the weakest bug in the hive, and isn't it just a weak ant? And the answer is yes. But using your spiders, that really shows the difference between a really top quality player. So, for example, white spider could spawn here within an attack 1, 2, 3, and because that grasshopper is in a true pin, it would not be free. So if Max is still in attack mode, although Max still has an ant available, and of course this is a very instructive situation here as well, because the spider is threatening to do a pin replacement. White can shut that pin replacement down by placing, by placing a defensive bug there. Now this pin replacement doesn't do anything but release the white ant. So Max came out fighting, came out attacking, brought in that mosquito quickly. The mosquito attacked the queen. It was very interesting. We can go back and look at that. Oh, okay, here we come with another black ant, black spider, threatening a second pin replacement. Maybe, maybe not. Of course, right at the moment, white has the opportunity to bring in the last ant, because there is no bug available to pin that ant except the black ant here, which then would free the ladybug. Okay, Stepanzo does bring in the spider. He does a couple different things. One, it places a block. Sets up a gate here so that ants can't get into that position, which could be critical. And it also threatens the pin replacement on the ant. Okay, he brings in the third ant in a position so that this spider cannot do a pin replacement. So it's all, black's defense is all going to center around this kill spot because the white ant will be able to get into here if it wants to. Or, like I said earlier, the spider could come in here with an angle of attack to take the setup shot. So Stepanzo's definitely defending right now. Very strong attack right out of the gate from Max. "50 years ago, I studied Russian when I was in college and sure wish I'd have paid more attention to it. I had an opportunity to use that language with both of these players. Of course, Dmitry Maximenkov, Ms. Max Shark, actually is from Russia. Stepanzo is a Russian expatriate living here in the U.S. Two very strong Russians playing here. Okay, interesting. Max is looking at placing a grasshopper there. So Luna Rose Manor is in. This is the round of 16 of the knockout rounds. This is the first game played in the round of 16. Welcome, Luna Rose. We appreciate having you here. So, get back over here so I don't miss anything. The black grasshopper comes in. White ant pins it. Now, black has 3 good defenders, but the self-setup shot pinned by the ant could be dangerous. Of course, now, if black can get a bug into either one of these spots, these defending bugs will be freed. Because if we go back here, move this ant back, this grasshopper is threatening to go to there, which would free up the mosquito. And so that's why Max pinned it. So the big question is going to be, can white figure out a way to get a bug into, take an angle of attack to that kill spot? All 3 white grasshoppers. So Luna Rose says that she had a tournament of Hive at her local game shop with 4 players. She managed to win. Got to kind of keep an eye out here. Things are happening in the UK. Okay, great. So let's see. The spider did the pin replacement. The grasshopper takes an angle of attack, and black has to pin it. Okay, now, how is white going to get a bug available to that spot? Oh, that's interesting. He could bring in a beetle to here. Of course, also, if the grasshopper goes to there, that would force that. That doesn't really do anything. And I need to be keeping an eye on the lobby because they are going to be about 10 o'clock, I think, is when Frasco and AE Norman 43 start. Well, this has been an exciting game one of the World Championship knockout rounds. Max Shark came out in attack mode big time. Now Stepanzo is defending. The question will be, can White find a method of getting a bug to that spot? Now, it's a long-term plan, but White could bring in a spider here. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that doesn't help because with the grasshopper going to there, the ant would be free. So we're looking for a way that we can get a white bug into here while keeping the black ant pinned. Probably a beetle is going to be the best bet. Nope, he comes in with a spider. Okay, the spider, again, threatening to cap off the ant and allowing another grasshopper out here with an angle of attack. 1, 2, 3, also threatening to go to here, which could free up the mosquito, but of course the mosquito's already in a kill spot, so you don't necessarily want to climb up because that could relieve some of the tension. If the spider goes to here and the mosquito climbs up, that could relieve some of the tension that the Ponzo is under right now. Yeah, this is very interesting. Does black even have any way of getting bugs into these critical spots that could free some of these defenders? And right now the answer is no. I think I'm going to open the lobby so I can keep an eye on when anyone joins in. Okay, interesting. The black beetle drops down to there, which frees the grasshopper, but also frees the white ant. But interestingly, if the white ant moves, then there's no longer an angle of attack down this attacking row. What about the ant on the top row? I don't understand the question, Luna Rose. Okay, that's interesting. By moving the beetle, it allowed, and now Max is defending. Yes, yes, that is correct. And Max is putting up. Sorry, everybody, I have this really bad cough. I've got to remember to hit the mute button. So Stefanzo is putting up a very good defense. So even though Stefanzo freed this ant, the immediate attack means that because the grasshopper has an angle of attack to take the kill shot, one of the two defending black bugs is going to have to move. Now let's look at black. If black can jump out to here, which would give ant mobility to the black mosquito, threatening to move away with the queen, which would almost force white to either cover, which could set up a direct drop. If white attacked with the grasshopper, that would form the ring, threatening to free another defender. If the mosquito jumps out, the black queen would be free. So the mosquito jumping out is the more likely of the two defending bugs. Okay, he's going to go that way. He's looking at going that way, which does two or three different things. It would, if the mosquito goes this way, the mosquito would gain ant power. It threatens to free the queen. It pins in the white ant. And of course, if the white beetle moves forward, then the black pill bug comes into play defensively. Time is not an issue right now. Saponzo just passed nine and a half minutes and counting. Typically, people spend more time when defending than when attacking. Now, where's the mosquito going to go? Is it going to go here? Or is it going to go here? Very interesting scenario. Interesting. I did not consider that. And a mosquito jumping out to there. That self surrounds the black pill bug. So if the beetle moves forward, white is completely surrounding the pill bug, but it still has difficulty getting into one of those two kill spots. Now another, well, see, and the other thing is that now that this grasshopper no longer has an angle of attack, this black ant is free. But white could pin the black mosquito. Is that a good possibility? Then with the mosquito pinned, the threat again would be to bring the mosquito up with a direct drop here. The direct drop threat is not in play as long as the black mosquito can climb forward. Yep, he pinned the mosquito. Now the threat, of course, is the mosquito going up and then a direct drop there. And a direct drop of the beetle could be devastating for black's chances. Black could go to here with the ant, which would definitely free one of these two bugs. But now black has, or white has two kill spots that are going to be difficult to get to. Only has one grasshopper available. So this has been a very interesting game. Want to keep an eye out. Interesting. Didn't even consider the opportunity of bringing in a black ant to there. I'm sorry, black beetle to there. Now, of course, that stops the direct drop because if the white mosquito climbs up, the black beetle can cover it. It also threatens to free this ant for defense, and it frees the grasshopper. Typically, when players first start playing Hive, they just see the attack opportunities. Seeing the defending opportunities are not always as readily visible. So it's quite instructive to watch a good defender like Stepanzo continuing to come up with these really good methods. Okay, Max goes ahead and attacks, forces either the beetle or the grasshopper to move. The setup shot by white. There are 3 bugs threatening to take the kill shot, either one of the ants or the beetle. So one of the 2 defenders is going to have to move. And it's interesting how quickly the ant game can shift, because all of black ants were either pinned or uh, tied down doing whatever they were doing. And just like this, if that grasshopper jumps out, which he does, now black has 2 free ants because this grasshopper is no longer a threat. Now, white grasshopper could jump to here, which would keep the black beetle pinned, but the black beetle is pre-swamped, so filling either one of these spots would free the beetle. Right now, black is threatening to move up with the beetle and then move the queen away. Of course, the threat is the black queen just moves away, and that puts an end to any immediate attack by white. So white will either have to block the queen in or cover it with the mosquito, cover it with the beetle. Okay, Max jumps across with the grasshopper, which does 2 things. One is it keeps the queen in place. It also, now the beetle is pinned, even though the beetle is in a pre-swamp condition. Okay, Stepan decides to continue with the pin replacement because this is no longer a kill shot here. And if the only free ant moves in, it frees the beetle. So Stepan is doing an excellent job of defending. The question will be is if black can stop white's attack, will black have enough bugs available to execute a victory on its own? And of course, when you're right in the middle of defending, you're not necessarily concerned about making sure that you have a path to victory after the defense is over. So the beetle comes in, the black ant almost assuredly has to pin it. The advantage, of course, is here that it keeps the gate closed, protecting this kill spot, but it does leave this available as a spawn point. Elects to pin it here, which opens the gate, but stops the restricts the spawn point. Wow, this is Rapunzel's defending quite well. Let's take a look at time. Like past the 4-minute mark. Now, if the beetle moves all the way to there, that brings the pill bug back into play completely. So I don't think that's going to happen. What happens if the grasshopper goes to here, which then frees the mosquito to climb up, threatening a direct drop with that last grasshopper? But white may not have enough bugs after that. Okay, here we go. He brings in his last grasshopper with an angle of attack to either one of these two kill spaces. But I still don't know. Yep, that ant is free because the grasshopper no longer has an angle of attack. Oh, now this is interesting because the spider goes to there. That might be deserving of some examination. Okay, he advances with the beetle. Does a couple different things, if you interestingly to note, because it now gives pillbug power to the white mosquito. So the only thing that the pillbug could do would be to warp the grasshopper to there, and I don't know that that would solve any purposes because then immediately it gets caught. Although white doesn't have any more bugs in reserve. That's always a concern when you're playing is when you play that last bug in the reserve, the direct drop is no longer a threat. I'm going to take a moment here and go take a quick look. I don't remember exactly when Ponzo and A.E. Norman were playing. 14:30, so in about 15 minutes. Oh, that's interesting too, because moving forward with the beetle also gave pillbug power to the mosquito, and it moved the ant over. Interesting. Yes, Luna Rose says the game is brutal. It definitely is. I would not want to be stressed out with this game. Okay, beetle goes back, and now the ant mosquito, which is out there, and this happened very quickly. But it's interesting, these two bugs now don't have much they can do, interestingly enough, although the grasshopper could do this, and then the grasshopper come back in again. Final grasshopper comes in with doing a pin replacement. And Stepanzo's defense might have held out, although he would still have to qualify for the win, but he could qualify for the win once this beetle gets free. And it might be a good trade-off for this ant to go to there and free the black beetle. And all of a sudden, with black controlling the ant game, the tides might have turned. And all of a sudden, Max's attack has changed completely. What a fantastic first game of the knockout section of the 2024 Hive Online World Championship. And all of a sudden, white is being squeezed. So it looks like Stepanzo has defended. Question now becomes, can he turn the tides and counterattack? The counterattack is going to be completely dependent on freeing a beetle to qualify for the win. The mosquito moving to there, threatening to cover the beetle, which may turn this into a draw. Although I was a bit surprised with that because moving the ant could move to here, which could free up the black beetle. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So there's still a couple more tricks up Max's sleeve. He does need 4 bugs, which he's going to have trouble getting 4 bugs. There's no question about that. Now, both of these bugs are free to climb up, but if either one of them climbs up, the other one can get pinned by one of the black ants. White spider 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 does have an angle of attack here, but that frees the pre-swamped beetle. What would happen if white went all out, warped in the tail bug? That would not work. Okay, interesting. Looking to free an ant. Getting the ant pinned in. 7 minutes and counting for Max, down to 2:11 for Stepanzo. Yeah, I don't see how white is going to win. But of course, I don't see how black's going to win either. I think that beetle move is a shift in thinking from Max going from the attack to the defense. Now the question is going to be is how can Stepan neutralize the white pill bug? One problem is the white mosquito no longer has beetle power. Interesting. So I was thinking the most likely black beetle to be freed would be this one, but okay, hold on. Something's happened here. I missed a couple. I missed something. This ant attacked. I have to, I have to be very, very careful. Oh, interesting. Okay. The beetle came down to there to set the block so that the mosquito could move to there. Interesting. A lot of interesting pill bug mosquito interaction. Wow, what a game. Now white is threatening to get the mosquito atop the hive. Black cannot stop that from happening. Wow, what an opening game. So black has all of a sudden taken complete control of the ant game. Okay, the black mosquito attacks immediately. Now, if the mosquito goes up, mosquito can't go up because it self covers the pill bug and the game ends. Oh, that's interesting. He warps the pill bug away. And again, all of a sudden, there's no. Black does not have an angle of attack, so it's not threatening right at the moment. So all of a sudden, Max is on the defense. Okay, he warps the ant in. Wow, this is very interesting. AE Norman 43 and Frasco 92 have both joined in. They're going to be starting their match here very shortly. So hopefully we'll let this one finish before we go over and join into Frasco and Alex. Max finally asked the question, a draw. So let's see if Stepan agrees. So it looks like Stepan's not ready to accept a draw yet. Yeah, Black wants to keep the queen pinned in. So I don't see how this is going to end anything other than a draw unless somebody makes a huge blunder. If I had to venture a guess, Black would have the best probability of victory. Well, this has been a great one. Stepanzo still has not qualified for the win. He's got to get a beetle atop the hive, more than likely. Now he fainted to do that, but if he does that, he's got to keep that mosquito from having pill bug power or having beetle power. That might allow the black mosquito to get up, which could be the turning point. Hi, Danielle. Nice to see you this morning. Let's turn on the. Looks like Max has offered a draw and Stepanzo has accepted it. So, what a game to start this match. We go all the way back to the beginning. We go all the way back to the beginning. It started off with Max on the attack, separating the pill bug from the queen. Then, very surprisingly, warped the pill bug back into place, but gave them both the mosquito and the beetle opportunity to get atop the hive. So, game one in the 2024 Hive Online World Championship knockout rounds ends up being a draw between Max Shark and Stepanzo. Great game, guys. Thank you for being very entertaining. So, we're going to close this. Next on the agenda, Stepanzo and A.E. Norman have already started. I'm sorry, A.E. Norman and Frasco have already started. So we'll go get over there in a minute if we can figure out what we need to do. So Frasco and A.E. Norman have already started. Moving along to turn 15 already. So let's see what we can do about getting caught up over to there. Okay, Frasco and A.E. Norman are already playing. So let's see if we can get caught up. Frasco opens with the ladybug. Alex replies with a ladybug. In his new book, Canon of Hive Opening Theory, uh, Judoka has coined a couple new terms, the white standard setup and the black standard setup. Let's see if either one of these players elects to do that. White mosquito, black mosquito. Both hesitating on putting their queens in. Black queen finally comes in. This is what Judoka refers to as the black standard setup. The diamond with ladybug, mosquito, queen, and elbow. And then the opposite elbow includes the ant. Black mosquito is the first bug to move. White moves over, shutting down this beetle factory right there. As quite often in these top level games, it's just a matter of fighting with ants and mosquito at the beginning. They're still not up to where they are live. Black finally brings in the pill bug. Okay, I think we are up to the spot. And Fresco continues to play for some control here. So Danielle Linzel is a regular. Appreciate you joining us this morning, Danielle. He said he's rooting for Frasco this year. I'm going to go quickly over to the lobby to see if let's see, Max Shark has left the lobby, so we doesn't look like there's going to be a second game between Stepanzo and Max. So White finally places the pill bug in a good defensive spot, but more importantly than that, it opens up this mosquito so that if the mosquito moves out, then the first beetle can enter right there. So this is our second game of the day. First game was a wonderful, fantastic attack by Max Shark. Great defense by Stepanzo. Ended up in a draw. So we can hope for all of the games this year to be as exciting as that opening game was. And I seem to be doing fairly well this morning. My cough is not quite as bad as it has been. Of course, I've been living on cough drops the last 2 weeks. I have this obnoxious dry cough that just won't go away. I hope I can mute if I feel the urge for a cough coming on. So Alex could use this opportunity to potentially bring in an ant, his final ant. Although it could be pinned by this white ant up here, that would release this one, which is pinning this one. So the ant row of ant pins up there. Indus Dust has joined as a spectator. We have quite a few people joining this morning on and off. Right now we've got Cower 50, Dr. B, Zordep Kubik, Hawk 81, SP Fish, Roxar, and Indus Dust all in spectating this game. Quite an international group. Okay. Alex moves the spider over. Threatening to free this ant. Actually, it does more than threaten to free that ant. It will free that ant. The only way that White could stop it, neither of which are good scenarios. So the question here is where can this mosquito go that could free up the beetle factory? Essentially, the mosquito would have ladybug power, or it can be warped out by the pill bug. And this is one of those situations where you always ask yourself, where are you going to, the advantage or disadvantage depending from one spot or the other. The white mosquito could jump out to here, which would free this ant, but this elbow should, in theory, release the ant. But the elbow, the only way to get into the elbow would be to make a ring. But if go to here and the ant moves away, then the elbow could free the black ant. So if Frasco elects to jump out with the mosquito, interesting. He goes to there, making the ring, which that could actually be used as a beetle factory and getting the mosquito up. Very interesting. So now the mosquito has ant power. Very good use of a ring by Frasco. I never even considered that. Of course, I am currently writing the book Hive Ring Theory, which will be giving examples of good rings and bad rings. This is definitely a good ring. One of the signs of a good ring is when all of the bugs in the ring are controlled by you. Of course, the ladybug and the ant are not mobile. The other four bugs are mobile. White controls all of them. Now, black could pack, but that would free the white ant or the white mosquito. Very interesting. And that's one of the interesting things about Hive, how games can be so completely different after just 3 or 4 moves. I want to keep a peek on the lobby. Not look like they're going to be. Ponzo's still in the lobby, so they may be playing another game yet today. I know the initial note from Frasco and Alex was that they were going to be playing 2 games today, but of course, you know, these tournament games can sometimes last an hour or more. Now let's just take a look here for a minute. What would happen if black did something like that? Threatened to separate the pill bug and the queen. White could play the beetle, and there's oh yeah, there's no okay. As long as the white mosquito has ant power and is mobile, black can't bring in a beetle anywhere productive because it would immediately get pinned. Black could place another bug here and then bring the beetle into there. But instead, likes to keep the ant blocked in. Now is it time for Frasco to bring in the beetle? He could pin the ant and still have the beetle factory open. Okay, he opens the beetle factory, brings in the beetle, giving it it's instant double beetle. Beetle and mosquito are both now able to. Black can fill the ring with the grasshopper, possibly over here. This could definitely be a long-term goal for Frasco because the beetle and mosquito are both quite a ways away from the queen. But nothing can stop the first white beetle from climbing up. Nothing can stop the mosquito from climbing up as well. Danielle says black could fill the ring with the grasshopper, maybe that grasshopper, but allowing the white ladybug to move out, wouldn't want to attack, although white would not have an immediate threat. Black queen could get warped out. Okay, interesting. Black plays a beetle. Now, is white going to just go ahead and climb up, or is white going to attack? I mean, the instantaneous response would be to use that mosquito to pin the beetle, but that might be just a gambit of some sort because black could very easily then go through those steps and get a beetle up. So maybe not an immediate, an instantaneous 100% response. But it would be hard for me to do anything other than that. Fresco may be looking farther ahead to try to determine what's the best move here. Obviously, that's what he's trying to do. Although I'm hard pressed to see anything better than that. If black pins it, Then the white beetle gets all the, oh, that's interesting. And then the spider allowing the beetle to get up. Maybe Frasco's assuming that he can fend off that beetle with the mosquito and beetle. First shutting down the black mosquito, and here comes the black beetle. Alex moved that beetle with absolutely quickly. He must have had this planned ahead. Now that's also very interesting because, okay, if black goes there, the second black beetle could come here and immediately get up. And that beetle movement also took away mosquito beetle movement. Yep. Use the ring to bring in the beetle. Nothing can stop the beetle from climbing up. So, and the beetle does begin its march forward. Like that, the second beetle comes in, giving beetle power back to the mosquito. The beetle battle is about ready to take place. Of course, once the beetle moves forward, then we're threatening to do something like that to get the mosquito its beetle power. Or could just threaten immediately to go there. Okay, we're back. My wife just came in and asked. We have a friend who has graduated from high school and they're having a party this afternoon, but I've been hacking and coughing, so I'm not going. So I will be watching our grand dog this afternoon. So timing is not an issue yet. Brasco has a little over 9 minutes. Alex has a little over 11. Neither player has qualified for the win yet, so they're still jockeying for position. The most likely way to qualify for the win, of course, is to get a beetle up. Black has a beetle up. The Oreo stack in the middle here ties up the black. Put a mosquito underneath there. No, black beetle. Black mosquito is underneath there. So Alex's threat would be if this happened, then that happened, then black would have a beetle up, a mosquito up, and the two white beetles would be tied up. Covering an opposing beetle that's on ground level, sometimes that beetle on ground level can be pinned and then the beetle atop it can move. But when you're 3-level stack, the top beetle covering an enemy beetle on the second level, that top beetle, unless you do a rolling beetle, can't do anything. So here we go. The spider pins the black ant, and very quickly, Frasco pins the black ant. Now it's interesting because Frasco could warp the queen to here, and white could be very well be in a good position to defend against the beetles. Interesting. Make sure we get back to where it really is. The black grasshopper forms the ring. That's interesting because now the grasshopper is threatening to go to there and free the mosquito underneath it. Okay. Now I was looking also, this would be very interesting if there were a way to do something like that could free up an ant. But he immediately okay, black is the one that frees the ant. Okay, let's look at some long-term scenarios here. Neither player has qualified for the win. This black mosquito, both black beetles are adequately taken care of. But of course, it's tying up with two white beetles at that time. The pillbug moving in does free the ant, but black could immediately pin it. Okay, so he does warp the ant out. Now black can immediately pin it. Nope. Black is doing a kind of a unique pin replacement. And if white pins the ant, black immediately repins. But I don't think he had any choice. Now, I mean, this black mosquito is fairly well tied. Oh, no, maybe not. But we could have another game ending in a draw. Okay, the spider pins the ant. Now, yep, that's what I thought. This grasshopper is coming in. Whoops. The grasshopper is coming in. Just again, right? Grasshopper is coming in, threatening to go to there. And then it's a case of queen and pillbug headed out. Okay, that's interesting because the queen could move to there to free the mosquito. Now, let's take a look at that position. Yeah, the queen would have to go out and then the pillbug go out. You don't want to free the ant in the process. Although this would be a big gamble because if the black queen goes in, white could immediately cover it, even if the mosquito climbs up. Beetle's in the wrong spot. Okay, that's another way to do it. Spider to there. Out. Spider caps off the mosquito, which will make it extremely difficult for Frasco to qualify for the win. And the next coming was going to be the grasshopper to there, freeing the mosquito. But unless Alex can get into an extremely long end game with some squeezing and shutouts to force Frasco into some bug swing situations, I don't think either player is going to have enough bugs to execute a victory here. Although Frasco could jump out to there with the spider, which then I don't think that that's going to allow the mosquito to get up. Nope, he's going to go ahead and move the queen out first. Yes, because if the grasshopper goes there, the spider then moves afterwards. Okay, the queen is just, both queens are running to the outer edges of the hive. I think this is going to end up in a draw. And it's interesting right now, black has qualified for the win because the queen and the pillbug are separated, but it's just no problem for the pillbug to just move out there. I don't think there's any way that black can stop that from happening. And the same thing with black. Black can move out, or if black moves out, white's not going to have enough bugs to win. Although the rolling beetle concept could benefit Frasco. The rolling beetle concept, of course, when you have a stack like this, if the beetle moves and the opposing beetle covers it, at some point, if you can force the beetle to move, put him in bug swing, then the beetle can continue. We should start a little poll here. How long do you think it's going to be? How many more moves before they agree to a draw? I will say this is not going to go to move 75. Although it's interesting, the grasshoppers is going can force the black mosquito up, but I don't think there's any way that black's going to come up with enough bugs to win. No, he's just going to continue running away with his queen. Now, getting the queen away from the pillbug. The pillbug's in a proximity pillbug position now. Now, well, can get another ant free that way. If you allow the queen to get to there, the spider could pin it there if black elects to continue moving the queen out. White does have two grasshoppers in reserve and one ant mobile. I don't know that White's going to be able to stop Black from freeing this ant. He wanted to. Yep. Now I don't see what the purpose of that grasshopper was. Now the only way that White can keep the black ant in is like that. That's what he did. Yeah, I don't see the reason behind that grasshopper placement. So, White has officially qualified for the win. Black Queen is separated from the black pill bug, but I don't see any way that he can come up with 3 bugs needed, 4 because that black spider is going to run away. Oh, the rolling. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, now we see the purpose for the grasshopper. It was so that the black beetle could not follow the white beetle. So maybe Frasco can put Alex in some sort of bug swing. So now the question is going to be, is White going to reverse with the spider, keeping the mosquito in? I think you have to. Well, a little while ago, I thought this was going to be a draw. Now I think that Frasco has some in-game possibilities. He's still got to come up with 4 bugs, though. But Black has serious bug swing issues. So in an in-game situation like this, you have to look at yourself and say, do I have enough bugs to win? White currently has a grasshopper in reserve. That's one. Two beetles up, a mosquito, and a pill bug, and or a queen. So in theory, he might be able to, but it's not going to be easy. Living on these cough drops. I forgot that I had it set up so that I could do desktop audio. Do you or do you not like the audio? Let me know. Still fighting to get that mosquito free. I just decided I don't like the desktop audio. Now, white needs 3 bugs. Okay, that's interesting. So he got the mosquito up, which is going to put black into bug swing. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it or not. Now that's interesting because now the grasshopper can jump over, freeing the black mosquito. Because if the white spider moves, the black mosquito has ant power. So I think white has to come down and get the other beetle involved. So black could move the spider. See, 1, 2, 3. If black moves the spider, the ant just pins it, and that is a net gain for white. 1, 2 goes 1, 2, 3 that direction. Yep. See, there's nothing that can stop that beetle out there. Yeah, this is becoming a. I don't see how Frasco can move on from a draw. Well, the only person to comment, Danielle, says he likes the audio, so I turn the audio back on. So that tells us whenever they make a move. He hasn't decided what to do yet. I need to make sure I don't jump ahead. So, if the grasshopper moves now, then the ant gets promoted. White is using his 2 beetles and mosquito. So is he going to trade a beetle for an ant? I think in the long term bug swing situation, the ant is going to be much better. Yep, he warped the ant out, so the ant becomes free. But it immediately is forced to pin the black ant. The question still is Brasco going to be able to come up with enough bugs to win? Of course, the grasshopper dare not make the ring. What would happen if the beetle goes here? Beetle, beetle. Yeah, that was black's only move. Oh, that's interesting. Making a ring. Now the question is, can the ladybug get past this string of bugs to get out here to attack? It will be difficult. But the ladybug could go to there. I think this beetle dance is still going to end up in a draw. I don't think that there's any way. I might be mistaken, but oh, maybe not. Well, let's see. This is definitely a tough end game. Interesting. White might have put black in bug's wing. If the grasshopper jumps, okay, when this grasshopper jumps out here, that allows ladybug a method for getting by. Yep. But of course, you have to be very careful because if the bug ends up next to the next to the ring over there. Oh, Rascal is playing quickly like he has a plan. I don't see what it is yet. Well, maybe this. I don't know that that does anything. Let's what time. They're both under 5 minutes. We're not pressed for time at the moment. So let's look at the long-term plan for Fresco. He needs 4 bugs. He's got 3. I mean, 2 of these bugs and this ant is 3, but where's he going to come up with the 4th? He can put black in Bug's Wing. I mean, black is close there already. But if he covers the 2 beetles, see the grasshopper just jumps back and forth. You got to stop this grasshopper somehow. And I think, I mean, the mosquito can climb up, the ladybug jumps over, the ant climbs up, but this grasshopper just keeps moving back and forth. And I don't think there's any way that white can counter that. If white can counter the grasshopper, then that would force one of the other bugs to move. I think if the queen were there, that would be better because that would stop the spider from moving that direction. Right now, okay, what happened? The mosquito climbed up on the ladybug, and the grasshopper just keeps jumping back and forth. I think white has to definitely stop the black grasshopper jumping back and forth, and I don't think there's any way can do that and get. Yeah, I think the ladybug's going to have to get out here. Good. No, he's going to do that. You know that. Yeah, I don't. I think white and Brasco is running out of time. Alex is playing very quickly, intentionally, that all Alex has to do is jump this grasshopper back and forth. The danger, of course, in this situation is if you move the ladybug, then your black's not truly in bug swing, because if black moves something, then you can end up having the white ladybug be moved by the pill bug. That's two repetitions. I think it's going to be a draw. It was a draw. Wow. Very exciting. Good example of a two really top players playing against each other and ended up in a draw completely. Brasco's going to ask for a 10-minute break. So let's see if he says yes. Alex says he's a bit worried in the end game. Okay. Okay, perfect. So they are going to a 10-minute break. We're going to turn off the gameplay room, turn the lobby back on. Got to get the lobby open. So, two games this morning, both games ended in a draw. So is that the way this tournament's going to go with these top level players? I'm going to do a little bit of advertising here very quickly. Don't forget, I'm here to help you play Hive like a champion. And my book, Play Hive Like a Champion, second edition, is available on both Lulu and Amazon. We have the Hive Lexicon and Standard Hive Open Encyclopedia are both available as well, but I'm going to be revising both of those as soon as Joe Schultz releases his second book, The Canon of Hive Opening Theory, which should be coming very shortly. I have seen an advanced copy of it. It is very, very informative and instructional. And once it's available, I'll do an interview with Joe and I'll set up a link here on my website. And of course, buy me a coffee. There's a link. You can make a small cash contribution to my channel. And if you're watching live, you'll notice that unless you're a YouTube Premium member, every once in a while they're going to throw some advertisements at you. because that helps them pay me just a little tiny bit. So I'm making a few cents an hour when I do these live streams. So we're going to take a bit of a break. We'll be waiting for AE Norman and Frasco to play game 2. So I will be back momentarily. Okay, I'm back. Getting set up for the next game. Alex says he is ready, so they should be starting very shortly. So let's get the lobby turned off. And as soon as they join in a room, I will get going. And I'm cheating a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a snack break while we're playing. Hope you don't mind if I eat a banana. Looks like they're going to go into room 2. So we're waiting for them to get started. The 2024 Hive Online World Championship knockout section has got it started today. Two fantastic games this morning. Both of them ended up in a draw. Max Shark attacked early, a very strong attack going. Stepanzo defended well, and then once turned the corner, had actually a little bit of a threat at the end, but they both finally agreed to the draw. And then in the next game, Frasco and A.E. Norman had a stretched out hive. Both queens had escaped to the outer reaches of the hive, and Frasco worked around a little bit looking for a way that he might be able to come up with enough bugs to win, but they ended up realizing that it was a draw. So they are going into game room 2. So once they get started, I will see if I can get in that room and get you all up to date. So I think we are up to date. So let's see what I can do to get things going here. Ladybug and mosquito has become very, very common opening. Actually, I'm wrong, so I'm going to start over here. Queen came in there. There we go. trying to keep up with it somewhat as it's happening. Okay, there we go. And I just noticed I need to change this. So we've got A.E. Norman playing white. So here we are. Very interesting. Uh, Frasco played the queen in what we call a C1 opening, where the queen is not played on one of the original 4 spots, played out here in the 1 row is what we call it in the standard Hive opening encyclopedia. So it'll be interesting to see how Frasco turns this opening. Can he turn it into a victory playing black? Even though it's the Pillbug has balanced out the white-black results quite a bit, it definitely, oops, let me turn the desktop audio on here now that we were up to date. White still has a slight advantage. So if you can come up with something other than a loss playing white, like Alex did on the previous game, came up with a draw playing black, then it sets him in an advantageous situation. If he can use a tennis term, hold serve the rest of the match, he'll end up winning. So Frasco's in a think. The white pillbug has been brought into a proximity pillbug position, but in an attacking position as well, with the pillbug and mosquito adjacent to that black queen. Wow, quite an interesting opening. Okay, so I'm guessing that Alex's plan is going to be to start with an attack real early, get a uh, beetle or two into the attack. So if Frasco is thinking that's the case, Frasco will probably just bring in another ant, another defending ant. This could become a inner game, outer game, inner hive, outer hive conflict if Alex starts fighting in the inner hive and allowing Frasco to take control of the outer hive. And that's exactly what Frasco does. Oh, now that's interesting. Alex does not bring in oh, maybe he doesn't. He looked at bringing this spider in, but hasn't brought it in yet. Okay, Alex pinned one of the ants. And is Frasco going to go ahead and bring in the third ant? He brought in the third ant. Alex is playing very quickly here, bringing in a spider. Now that spider, that's interesting because if the spider gets warped over into here, black doesn't have any spot that he can beneficially warp the queen. So Frasco pins it. The question is Alex going to be able to successfully attack with that pillbug mosquito combination? Alex currently doesn't have any good spots to spawn beetles, and if he spawns ants, they're going to be immediately pinned. So if black moves away and leaves this spider, does it become a double ambiguous spider since the pillbug could warp it to either one of those spots? The spider typically only has two places it can go. Occasionally, if it's going through a door, it'll have four places. But next to the mosquito with pillbug power, it's got a couple other additional options. So, what are some of the candidate moves that Alex might be considering? What about moving the pillbug to there? Problem is that doesn't get him a lot closer to qualifying for the win because there's no easy way to get a beetle. And of course, my immediate thought is maybe he should have brought a beetle in there, but Black's mosquito has ant power and can pin a beetle almost anywhere it's brought in. And of course, if the black mosquito moves away, then there's a good spawn point for a beetle, a pin-proof spawn point for a beetle. Okay, a spider. This is truly an ambiguous spider. It can threaten that ant or the pin replacement. So does this force Frasco to pin the spider? Tying up two ants, pinning two spiders? I would think yes. Most likely would be to pin the ant, use that ant, leaving the mosquito available. And if in fact Frasco chooses to do that, it's a perfect example of surrounding your opponent's queen is not the goal in Hive. That's just how you win, because Frasco would definitely be playing for control here. If you are watching live, make sure you drop a note in the chat section. Let me know who you are and where you're from. Luna Rose is a relatively new Hive player. He's commented earlier. Danielle Linzel watched a lot. So Frasco likes to begin the attack. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, thanks for watching, Max. What a great game this morning. What a fantastic game. Your early attack, I thought, was going to succeed, but Stepan defended extremely well. Congrats for making it to the final 16. Now, Frasco could begin his beetle attack. Oh, that's interesting. The mosquito attacks. Does form a ring. It frees the ladybug. So if Alex jumps over with the ladybug, well, this is already a very complex situation. Okay, that was a very interesting situation by Frasco. JCE17, glad to have you. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our Discord server, Hive the Boardless Game. Also check out the new website, hivegames.com, which is a terrific place to play online. So the only bug that white can use to break the ring is the lady, although that's not true either, because white could warp the black queen away to there. That might be the best way to do it. Nope. He moved the ladybug to there. Okay. Now I don't. So it's Frasco's move. Is it time to start a beetle attack? So if black starts a beetle attack, would white just ignore it and do a beetle attack of his own? And if black attempted to pin it, then white could play. Well, that is a possibility. And of course, making the ring is not necessarily beneficial because white can immediately warp the mosquito away. But I would think that about time for black to start attacking. So white is, yep, that's what I thought Fresco would do, would be to start the beetle assault. Now, is white going to attempt to defend that? Because he only has one ant in play. Nope. Begins his own beetle assault. Let's do a quick count here. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The white is definitely winning, but the two queens are just one space apart. So that's a good possibility of a draw. So let's go. Black goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, white is definitely ahead in a quick tempo count. Complex tempo count is going to be a little bit different because you've got 2 pill bugs and 2 mosquitoes tied up in there. Okay. Now white, of course, doesn't want to go here because then the queen just gets warped away. Yep, so white climbs on top of the ladybug. Okay, now this is very difficult to try and come up with an accurate count here. Black has the direct drop spots. Oh, that's interesting because that took Pillbug power away from the mosquito. Interesting. So Black has to move the mosquito. If he goes anywhere other than there or there, yeah, but he's there, he's always been able to threaten to come in, so he's almost has to go to there. He went to there. Interesting. Oh, he's looking at going to there. No. Problem is, if you go to there, then although the Black Queen is threatening to escape, yeah, I think the best bet is to go to there because you don't want to leave the white mosquito in position to warp the black mosquito into. Now the Black Queen is threatening to escape. So, what does Alex do here? Okay. Is that conceding a draw? Let's see, because if he goes to there, which he did, Brasco drops something into there. I think this is going to be a quick draw. Because Brasco is threatening to do a direct drop here. Yeah, when you in a situation like this, if you've got a defensive bug that you have some chance of freeing the defender, you might be able to come up with a win. But White's the only defensive bug in play is the ladybug, and it is in both kill spots for both queens. So those kind of situations, not much chance of either player winning. So Frasco has to do a direct drop. If Frasco does a direct drop, then White's only play is to there. And then once you get to that situation, it's a scenario where neither player is going to allow the other player to win. So I think the ladybug move by Alex was a concession of a draw. It ended in a draw. Very quick draw, less than 30 minutes. So 2024 Hive online knockout rounds are underway, and all three games this morning ended up in draws. Frasco says enough emotions for today. Or you want to continue. Let's see. Are they going to play game three? All up to? No. Alex says no, two is good. Haha. So they finished. So what a morning we've had. All three games ended up in draws. Alex and Frasco, after two games, the matches tied at 1-1, and Max Shark and Stepanzo earlier today with an exciting draw. All three of these games have been very exciting. Look forward to going back to reviewing them. Looks like they're going to be doing some review here, but we're not going to be looking at that. So, what a broadcast this morning. Very, very, very exciting. Tournament level Hive. The quality of play in these tournaments is getting higher and higher every year. I mean, I qualified for the 30, the top 32, but ended up last in my group. My group was led by Happy Kiwi, and then Will Farrow, that's WFF 17, finished second. So the upcoming matches, we have Judoka versus Roxar. Judoka, of course, is the current world champion. Then we have Indus Dust playing Antoine LR. Happy Kiwi, bronze medalist from last year, playing previous world champion Quadlibet. Caponzo and Max Shark. Then the bottom half of the bracket, AE Norman 43, who was a silver medalist last year, playing Frasco 92. We saw two of their games this morning. SP Fish and WFF 17, two Brits paired up against each other in the first round. Then we have Chigi playing Dr. Bees. Dr. Bees is the youngest player in the tournament this year, one of the up and coming players that's still in his teens. And then the final match is Gandak versus Rise Again. So it has been exciting. R10 Canale says hi. Hi, R10. Appreciate you joining this morning. It has been an exciting morning of Hive. Three games, all three of them end up in draws. So just be watching. I'm going to be live streaming as much as I can during the tournament season. Hopefully, my health will be a little bit better and I'll be able to continue doing this. Thanks again for watching this morning. I appreciate everybody that has joined in. Those that have made comments, I really, really appreciate it. And one last quick comment. Don't forget about the book Play Hive Like a Champion. If you haven't already purchased it, there's a link down below. It can be purchased on Amazon. And the Canon of Hive Groundwork, the original Canon of Hive, first book of a three-book trilogy. Be watching for the announcement when Joe Schultz, current world champion, has his second book, Canon of Hive, Opening Theory, available. I've seen an advanced copy. It will be very, very informative. As soon as it's ready to be released, I'll do an interview with Joe on a live stream where you all can join in and ask questions if you would like. And of course, Joe is current world champion, defending world champion, and playing in this tournament up against Robert Uzar, playing under the name of Roxar in the first round. So I appreciate everybody joining this morning. Thank you very much for joining me. Link down below if you'd like to buy me a coffee, like to make a small contribution to my channel. I truly appreciate it. So as always, I am here helping you play Hive like a champion. Until next time, this is Randy Ingersoll signing off.